Welcome to the Choose on Purpose podcast, where leaders live with intention. I'm Becky Ploutz, and every week we explore the mindset shifts, courageous conversations, and transformational stories that help you become the woman you're called to be. Whether you're growing your confidence, strengthening your leadership, building your business, or simply learning to trust yourself again, you're in the right place because your future isn't built by chance. It's built by the promises you keep to yourself and the choices that you make on purpose. So take a deep breath, settle in, grab your notebook if you're a journal taker, and let's grow stronger together. Today's episode is all about inspired action. It's about stopping the wait period for that perfect, infamous time and start moving with purpose, right? How many beautiful ideas have you had that are still waiting? And not because they weren't good enough, or not because you weren't capable, but because you kept waiting for certainty, right? Today, I want to talk about inspired action in a way that moves you, encourages you. And there are two kinds of action. There's busy action, purposeful action, right? Busy action, it really keeps you occupied. And purposeful action moves you forward with intention. And one really does drain us, and the other one energizes us, right? The two kinds, busy and purposeful. Which one energizes you? Which one drains you? Right? You can feel that change in energy thinking about when you say, "Oh, I'm so busy." Well, that feels chaotic. That feels like super messy. And purposeful feels more aligned, more intentional, more organized, right? That's how I feel. It feels draining to think about I'm busy, and it feels energizing and uplifting to know like this is towards something greater than just this task. For action, for taking action for me, for having confidence in action, it is about alignment. It is about knowing that it matters more than just in this moment, but on a wider range or deeper range scale, right? Your rhythm matters, your energy, your season, they matter. And success isn't copying someone else's calendar, it's creating your own that honors your life, right? That's intentional leadership of your life, leading your life with purpose is creating a calendar that honors your life. You know, an action without that alignment piece creates burnout, creates chaos. And without alignment, without action, creates frustration. So if you're taking action and it's out of alignment, you're burning out, you're draining yourself, you're losing energy. And when you're in alignment without taking action, that creates frustration and chaos, right? just filling the calendar, just doing the next thing and not consciously knowing why it matters. How does it align in your bigger vision and your purpose? And you need both. We need the action, we need the alignment. They're in partnership. And thinking about that, I want you to ask yourself, right? This is something that I want to encourage you to journal on. Even if you're like, I don't journal, Becky, that's not something I do. This is me as your connection strategist, encouraging you to step outside of that identity of I don't do that, I can't do that, and encourage you to change that mindset to know like this is an opportunity for you to grow and expand outside of that idea, because that's all that is. It's an idea of who you think you are or aren't, that you can choose to challenge, maybe only today, and that's okay. That's also something to acknowledge yourself for, that how it feels when you choose to do this activity. Okay. So my encouragement is to ask yourself, what has been really like marinating? What's been inside of you for a long time? Is it that business, the book that you want to write, the podcast you dream of starting and see how it can be an asset to impacting people? Is it a specific conversation that you've been avoiding or hiding from? Right? Is there an investment in yourself that you have felt more than one time or deeper on a stronger level that is for you for a long time and it's been sitting there? At some point, preparation becomes procrastination. Wearing a productive outfit, right? So masquerading around. Preparation is masquerading around at some point as productivity because I'm waiting to be more prepared. Ask me how I know. I've felt that numerous times in my growth journey and have started to really catch it so fast that it's like, oh, why can't I do that? And I look at can't as a cuss word. Okay. Like it's like, when I hear someone else say can't, or when I hear myself say can't, which is catching myself is so less and less. I don't know that I say I can't like almost never. And I catch it when I hear it in other people, which is a great mirror and a reminder for myself every time. Preparation becomes procrastination, wearing and masquerading as a productivity hack. And it's just not true. There comes a point where action is required, and it's knowing that aligned piece. So, what would happen if instead of asking ourselves, like, what if I fail at this thing or mess up this opportunity or totally flop having this conversation I've been thinking about having or starting that business, right? Or writing that book, like, where do I start? The procrastination of all the questions and the what ifs. Instead of what if I fail or all of those things, ask yourself, what kind of woman do I get to become when I finally begin? That's a completely different energetic question, right? What kind of woman do I get to become when I finally begin? That is empowering. That draws me in. I hope that you feel that too. The difference in what if I fail? It sounds so unsure, so like wavering, versus the opposite, which is like strong and like focused and aligned in knowing that it matters because it's more of identity based versus accomplishing something, right? It's very different. This is exactly why I created both experiences that I offer. The Muse experience creates breakthrough one-on-one with my clients, doing the coaching, photography, and storytelling with podcasting, right? And then the level up and the on purpose community helps you create or helps you continue the creation of who you're becoming. So it's really doing it alongside in a growth community of women who are also continuing to become more of who we say we are. Transformation doesn't happen because of one courageous day. It happens because you continue choosing yourself after and again and again, right? So reflect on, where am I overthinking in my day? What has been ready longer than I've admitted to myself until now? Like, what's one courageous action I can take within the next 24 hours? I encourage you to do it. Take the aligned action. You don't need another year of preparation. You need one courageous decision, one intentional action, then another, then the next step, right? That's how extraordinary lives get built, through those empowered choices being walked out one by one. I want you to remember that your future is built on the promises you keep to yourself. So choose with intention, live with purpose, and keep becoming the woman you were created to be. Until next time, love yourself, live fearlessly, empower your journey, and choose on purpose.